Yeah, it's a pretty nice evening. So I figured I'd come out here and check out the trucks, or make a video checking out the trucks. This one here is probably the most sentimental. 1985 4964. This truck was ordered new out of Gunther's in Peabody, Massachusetts. 400 3406B cat, water jacket after cooled. Factory 5 and a 4 spicers, 5 speeds direct. Factory 275-inch wheelbase. Interior's getting some love. Got a new headliner being made. Pretty cool truck. I enjoy running it. Some days it's a chore with them spicers, but it's fun, different. I was actually going to swap it out for a 13-speed. I guess I was going through a, I don't know what you call it, semi-midlife crisis. I went and bought a RTLO 18913A. I told my buddies I'm pulling the spicers, I'm putting a 13-speed in it. Of course, 2 days later, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So now it's sitting in the back of my pickup truck. This here's another 1985. This was High Noon Transportation out of California. This was a studio truck. Really cool truck. Had a 400 Cummins in it, 13-speed. Pretty cool. Jacobs engine brake sticker. Cool stuff. Truck was bought by a man. His name was Mike. Don't remember his last name. I spoke to his wife because unfortunately he had passed away, but she put me in touch with the guy who bought this truck from them, and I ended up buying it from him for parts. It's a really straight truck. It was struck by lightning, unfortunately. Frame rails are really nice. Those are actually going to a friend of mine who's restoring another 85 gold Western Star Gold Star that needs rails. So the truck will be saved. It's going to be resurrected through other trucks. It was really kind of the interior, the dash was melted, and if anybody knows these trucks, it's hard to find a dash that's in good shape, let alone get one out of a parts truck that will stay in good shape, as they're kind of brittle and tough to handle. Sleeper, eventually I'd like to have it fixed up. Kind of nasty. The cat's been going in and out of that thing lately. It smells like fire in there, but it's straight. So I'd like to have it gutted, reupholstered, cleaned up. Some of the rain gutters fixed on the side, and it's the higher end sleeper than what's on my everyday truck, the 85 that I run every day. Well, not every day, but whenever I go trucking, I run that. That's my truck that makes us a living. But yeah, I'd like to swap sleepers, this sleeper onto my truck one day. That's my famous line, one day. Like, one day I'll get to these trucks, or one day I'll sell them and somebody else will get to them, or maybe one day my kids will get to them, or who knows what will happen. But of course, it's just stuff that I had to have, and paid a little too much for some of them. What are you gonna do though, you know? This is the 86 AT64. I had the battery box cover off because needed a jump yesterday. It's been sitting, haven't started in a while. Hang on, I'm gonna put it back on. Put it back on for everybody so we get the full effect of how cool this truck is, and rare, and you know, it's It's rough around the edges, but I mean, tires, brakes, airlines, airbags. Blast a little bit of the surface rust off the frame. Thankfully, this wasn't double framed or had the insert under the fifth wheel like some of these did. Real clean. Well, it's not rust jacked is what I'm saying. Rails are good. Spray painted a little bit there, see how it would look. Truck's super cool. 1986 Autocar AT64. I forget what number is this. What is this? This is, let's see. Oh, it's got a 400 water jacket after cooled cat. 3406B. Yeah. AT64, 1986, number 13. 13 speed Road Ranger. Kind of dark in there, can't really see, but interior is really cool. Really original. They really don't make stuff like that anymore. I mean, really. It's pretty cool. Find that stuff real neat. Real original, factory original truck. Firethorn red was the color. I believe that's still what's on it. Truck's pretty straight. Sitting hasn't done it any justice. That's the worst thing that could happen to some of these old trucks is they sit and, you know, if anybody knows old trucks, they know the deal. This is the 1985 Gold Star edition. Really cool truck, another spontaneous adventure. Truck popped up for sale in California. Went out and got it. Really original. Needs a little bit of love, but with some tires and a few other little minor things, I'm considering running this truck this spring, maybe haul some nursery stock with it or something. Test it out. 400 Cummins, 13 speed. I'm not a Cummins guy, but it's running pretty smooth now. It wasn't running good when I got it. I filled it up with some fresh fuel though and kind of realized that the pickup tube of the fuel tank wasn't going all the way down. And that's why I was losing throttle response from the fuel splashing around and not getting to the pickup tube. And I filled it up and she's running really good actually. Well, I don't know how a Cummins is supposed to run. I don't really never really ran a big cam 400, but seems to run smooth bobtail at least. This truck is super clean. Frame, rails, everything's clean. A little bit of surface rust, but as far as the insert, not sure why they insisted on putting that insert under the fifth wheel from the started at the cross member behind the last cross member before the fifth wheel. They inserted it, double framed it to the back. It's where it tapered down. I guess they thought it was for strength, but thankfully on my truck, the black one that I run, on the build sheet it says, I believe they spec'd it with 3/8 frame rail and omit the frame liner, which was really good thinking. Here's another really spontaneous one that I thought I'd never find. A friend of mine spotted this in a group on Facebook of all places, but I mean, I guess, you know, not a big fan of social media. I guess I go on and off it, I guess, but you know, for things like this, it's pretty wild. Friend saw a guy post about this truck, asked if he knew where it was. Guy said, I might have sold it to this might be the guy who I sold it to, friend's phone number. My buddy passed it on to me. Took me a couple days to call. Ended up calling. That guy put me in touch with the owner of it, who was actually trying to sell the truck. And a couple days later, I went up with my truck and trailer and made a deal with them, and I got me All-Star Edition number 42 of 100. Single air cleaner truck, which is kind of odd for a, you know, All-Star Edition. But 400 water jacket, after cooled cat, 3406B, 13 speed transmission. Really cool factory interior. My dad, I believe, had number 40 of 100 or 44 of 100. Of course, I was a kid and, you know, I don't really remember, but try to get this without a shadow. But yeah, this is All-Star 42 of 100. Really cool old truck. Cool to have one. It's always what I've been after. As you know, my dad had one for about 10 years and he got his in about 86. I was born in 86 and rode around with that thing for a good, rode around with him in it for a while. Any chance I could get or any chance he'd let me go with him. Cool old original truck. Again, not hacked up. That's how I hope to find them, not all hacked up and ruined. I'd rather have a truck that needs some love and has faded paint than something that's been drilled into or modified or big visor put on or something horrendous, or if they took the curvy trademark elbows off from this era of Western Star. They ran a horizontal muffler underneath, and then it was factory 5-inch straights up from the muffler, which I thought was a really good look. My dad's had a 400 Cummins and a 13-speed as a kid. The thing sounded really cool. I actually used to think the Jakes were a little loud when I was a kid. They sounded really good. Well, it's getting kind of dark, but yeah, it's a couple of the trucks. Well, that's all the trucks that I have, and I don't know, any updates, I'll try to put them up if I do anything with them or whatnot. But I don't know, maybe one day these two might go to a different home. I could really focus on the All-Star, but we'll see what happens. Every time I put them up for sale or I think of selling them, I get kind of cold feet. But of course, money doesn't grow on trees, and I'm an independent trucker, and trying to make things happen, of course. But I don't know, I'm a nut, I guess. I love these old trucks. I love looking at them. I love driving them around and running them. If I couldn't run an old truck, I don't think I'd want to be a trucker at all. So I hope you guys enjoy looking at these old buckets of bolts, and if I get any updates, I'll share it with you. All right, see you.